one of the things that I want to say to all the readers of the books is that you are the most special people on earth that read the books or listen to the books or however you consume them, because this is what readers are. Readers are the magic that that make the books come alive. So this is, thank you for being who you are.
Everybody, welcome back to Living the Next Chapter, the author podcast. We get to meet amazing authors from around the world. What I love about this is I get to travel the globe with a microphone and a pair of headphones and talk to great authors. And today's exciting. MC is here on the show, and she's got lots of books in the process of going on. She's an actor. She's got lots of stuff going on. And wait till you hear where she's from. You're like, wow, I want to meet people in this part of the world. I want to start a podcast so I can meet MC and all of the amazing other authors on the show. But MC, welcome to Living the Next Chapter. I'm so glad to have you on the podcast. Let everybody know, where are you in this big world of ours?
Thank you very much for having me, Dave. And I'm from Estonia. So I know a lot of people have to Google it. And this is totally fine because we only have 1.4 million people here living in a land that is about this. I think it's smaller than New York, definitely.
Wow.
So so it's very, very small. I didn't really check it up. I should have. But yeah, it's really, really, really small. And it's very, very nice in here. So it's still daylight outside. It's past almost 9 p.m. So yeah, it never gets dark, and it's very nice here.
Wait, it never gets dark? Really?
No, it's like it gets dark like
like later on.
I think at midnight right now, and then back at light like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. it starts to get a little bit lightish, and then
Wow.
So we do have at summertime we have also this eternal light going on.
So is it hard to sleep then if you don't having like 8 hours of darkness like we would have other places?
Yes, it's very difficult for all the foreigners to come here. So I used to work with people who lived in Florida, and when they traveled over to Estonia for summer days, they were like, Jesus, how do you even sleep in here? Because it was back in June, and in June we only have like few hours of darkness. And there's like one night, the summer solstice, when we only have it only gets dark for an hour or 40 minutes or something like that. So if you come near that time, you will never know. It was fun to party when you were like 16 or something. You just you get into the club, it's light outside. You get out of the club, it's white outside. You have no idea like what time it is. So yeah.
Does that mess with your internal clock at all? Like, is it different for people in Estonia?
I think it is, because we are very used to it. Because the light doesn't actually bother me at all. But in wintertime, we get the darkness, so we have like 3 hours of daylight outside, and this really bothers me. This is like eternal darkness. We call it Mordor. Very because it's cold, it's dark, it's wet outside, and it's like you just don't want to go there. So it's we call it very how to say sweetly. It's our own Mordor. So we want to get out of here. So yeah.
Okay, so we have listeners in Estonia, which is outstanding for a guy in Canada to have a podcast and have people listening where you're from. Can you please welcome our listeners in Estonia? Because I'm sure they hear my voice, they hear English-speaking podcasts, but when somebody speaks from their own country, I think they're like, whoa, wait. So can you welcome our listeners from Estonia as well, MC? Come on.
Yes, I can. Tere, mu kallid kuulajad. Nii tore, et te olete siin ja te tulite Dave'i kuulama. See on väga eriline sündmus nii minu jaoks kui kõigi teiste jaoks. Ja aitäh teile, et te olete olemas. Ciao.
Wow. Okay, that's just... I hope you said some great, nice things there, but it sounded great. Like, I don't know if my tongue can do those kind of pronunciations and way of speaking like that. It's beautiful. Wow.
It is. Thank you. It is one of, I think with Finnish language, it's one of the hardest languages on earth, I guess, to study as well. But we have like 14 cases. Yes, we do have 14 cases. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like, but we don't have any sex and we don't have any future. So
Okay. Well, that's interesting. All right.
yes.
Well, again, having this show, I get to meet people from all over the world, and I'm just, I'm amazed at, kind of where people live, what life is like, and to have time with you is great. So this is really fun for me. Excellent. MC, talk a little bit about your author journey. You mentioned at the beginning that you've done acting as well, but where was it for you that you thought, hey, I want to become an author, start writing books and sharing stories? Like, did somebody tap you on the shoulder and say you'd be a great author, or how did this happen for you?
Well, it's a long story.
Okay, that's
but
cool.
you stop me.
Okay.
You stop me when I go just too far.
Okay.
Anyway, but it still starts when I was a very small kid. Like I think I was 12 when I started to write small poems, and then I wrote those poems, and then something deeper just grew in me. And also I was since I was born in Soviet Union, so poets and writers were and actors weren't, how to say, they were always referred to as poor people who were not really maybe respected enough.
Okay.
I guess this is the thing. And my parents, they didn't really believe in any of the creative stuff. They were like, "Good for you, you wrote the poem. Good for you." This
Yeah.
very like But this was normal back in that day. I don't mind them doing that because, well, it was just how it was. So, but I still continued writing everything in my drawer. And back in when I was like, I think I was 20 when I started to write. I just my muse is English. I have no idea why, but I started to write in English back when I like already some poems were in English because it's I love the English language, how rich it is. Estonian is not that rich. So in Estonian, we don't have half the words that we have in English language. And I read all of the classics, and this is beautiful. Hemingway
Yeah.
and Bronte and Austen, everything. I read it. I loved it. And Shakespeare, like this, the language is it's so beautiful. So I started to write. First of all, I started with fantasy. I started writing small stories, and then over the span of, I guess, 10 years, it became like or now it's called romantasy, but back in the day it was fantasy romance. I haven't gone anywhere with this one. With the trilogy, it's a very large chunk, and it needs a lot of editing, which is very, very expensive. Editing is super expensive if you are a self-published person. And then I have that wee pause in writing. I think about like 4-5 years when I was doing my career, my business career, and so I quit the job, and then I had a baby, and then having a baby really transformed my mind in a way that I forgot everything that was before, like this, where people were saying, well, actor is not a real job, writing is not a real job. Like, what do you think that you are a good writer? Or like, what are you even thinking of becoming a writer? Like, I didn't even share anything that I had written for, I think, 15 years. No one read it. And then when after the COVID and everything, when I understood like how short the life is, and also after having a baby, like your mind just transforms into that. Well, I don't have that much time anymore. So what do I want to do with my time? And I was like, I want to chase my dreams, and I wanted to become an actress since I was 3 years old. And I'm like, so I've now missed like all those 30 years of actually developing the craft. I was in small productions over the years always, but I never like pursued it like I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
And also with the writing, it was the same. I was writing everything to my drawers, so I was never like, I'm never gonna be a big writer and everything. And then someone read my book because I was like, I think I was drunk, definitely drunk, and I was talking to someone, and I was like, well, like, what is your hobby? I'm like, I have 7 hobbies, but I also write books. And she was like, oh, let me read it. And she was like, this is really good. And then it started. It
Wow.
was 4 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
And she read it and she said it's really, really good. I think you should really go with it. And now there is the first one is out, and then the second one is coming.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
So, okay, what drew you to English writings? Like, how did that happen? Because, like, in your country, how prominent is English language like, for a student growing up?
So we are a very small country, which means that we speak a lot of languages. Back in I was 18 and working in tourism, I spoke 5 languages.
Wow.
So
Wow.
and I was not fluent in 5 languages, but I was proficient. So basically, Estonian and English, those were 100%. Russian as well, because Russians are our neighbors. So we were forced to learn it because we needed to communicate in some ways. Also Finnish, who is our neighbors, because when you work in tourism, you needed to know it. And I also studied French for 11 years at school, and then some German and some Norwegian when I was so basically I've learned like 7, 8 languages during my lifetime, but now it's like Estonian and English, because English has always felt it's like this weird thing that sometimes you hear a language and you know it's yours. I like with English, it has always been like that. It's like when I started to first listen English language, it just felt mine. I knew how to communicate through English, even if I didn't know it very well. I just grabbed it from the air and it just came to me. It was really like it's like this magical experience. Like I studied French and Russian before, and also some Finnish, and I was like, and then I heard the English language, and I was like, yeah, I was taken. This is my language, and it really is. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for those listening, you don't see MC on camera because you're listening to this. MC is sporting a recently purchased AC/DC shirt from a concert she just came from with her young daughter, which I think is the coolest thing ever. But that's English-based lyrics, right? So how much of North America and English influenced you as a child growing up? Were you watching movies and listening to music? Was that also part of that influence of the English language for you?
Most definitely, yes. So when I was born, at first we didn't have any TV. Even I think we got TV when I was maybe 5 or 6 or something like that. And at first we didn't even have any programs in it because back in Soviet Union, which ended in '92. I was born in '88, so 4 years we didn't have any TV. Basically, we only had the Russian channels, and that was it. And it was only propaganda. There was nothing else. Later on, we only got like one Estonian channel, and then we could tap into Finnish channel with our antennas and stuff like that. So the first language for most of Estonians my age is actually Finnish language, because that's what we could actually steal from over the sea. Or catch, not steal.
Yeah.
Now you steal, because back in that day it was just like you needed an antenna or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and English language, I think as soon as I started to listen to it, I think it was the Queen was the first one. And then I still remember my first concert, which was a rock concert, and it was the band that I think it was the Scorpions, who sang this, who sang the song "In the Army Now." So this is my first favorite song was "In the Army Now," and I think I was 5 or something like that. And I was singing it the whole summer and stuff like that. And my parents really loved the Beatles and the Queen, which were like I grew up with them, and also AC/DC. I grew up with them as well. A lot of rock music because everybody in my family, my father's family, they play guitar as well. Because again, you couldn't get a lot of music, so you had to learn how to play it. And so I also play guitar in a very small scale, but I still do it
Nice.
because I really love it. Yeah, I used to play. The fun fact about me is that I aspired to become a superstar, or and I played guitar and drums, and I used to play them in a death metal band. It
Oh, I
it
like
it,
this.
it wasn't it wasn't a good one, but I still played there. I think we only had like three or four, those when they get together and play.
Right.
They were they were I think they were disasters, but you would call them disasters, but we thought we were rad.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were awesome. And I also had another band where I played the guitar, and I also wrote, I think, two songs. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't remember. One was about the guy. I think I wrote about my friend's boyfriend. I wrote the song for him. I have no
There
idea
you go.
why.
Okay. How does music shape you as an author? Like you love music. Does music kind of come into your writing at all?
Yes, it does actually. I have playlists for all my books,
Oh, okay.
and yes, and they really inspire me as well. Like I think they're MC.Paas. Well, basically, I can share
Yeah,
later on. I share the links,
sure.
and I can give you all the links and also the playlists, because I love music, and I love to think through music as well, because I don't know. Do I have to explain it? No, I don't.
No,
I just love
yeah.
music, and I love also very high variety of music. There are like very few genres that I can't really stand, and
Okay.
this, I think it's because neurological reasons. Because but it's not because I don't like it. I really kind of, I respect every single musician who does music. It doesn't matter what genre they do.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with the writers or actors or anything. I respect every single one, but it's just like it might not just be my cup of tea.
When you're writing, do you have music on with you when you're writing, or do you write in
Yes,
silence?
I always have
Okay.
music on.
Okay.
Always, 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 always. I love classical music. I love like it depends on what I'm writing. So sometimes I write, I read, listen Bach, and sometimes I like the Four Seasons. I don't remember which season was my favorite
Hmm.
anymore, because I haven't listened to it for a long time. But I really like this inspirational music and also classical music for writing. And sometimes I do like rock music,
Yeah.
heavy music for writing maybe some war scenes and fighting scenes.
Like a little Back in Black or something. Just dun, right. You're just like, okay, I'm here. I got it. All right.
Yes,
I need that little pick me up. Yeah.
but listening to AC/DC might be a little bit too distracting, because I just might be just
Right.
I'm just buggering off somewhere, like
Yeah.
ah, you know
I like it. Okay. So for the readers, MC, who who
yeah.
is your ideal reader for your books? Who do you have in mind when you sit down to write? Who do you want to find you as an author?
I wanted to find. I think I always write to people like me, and that is why I never shared it, because I was thinking like, do they have anyone like me out there? But they are, because it's perfect for nomads, for quick travel read, for example. Like when I was people have described my writing style as cinematic. So I create this world, and you will instantly have this movie starting to run in your head when you're reading my books. I don't know. This is my style. People have told that this is exactly what happens. And I think that this is what I'm also thinking. Like, I want people to have an easy read. So, and mostly I'm thinking of millennial women. But my readers have been as young as 19, as an old as 65. But they're all women who like adventure. They like spy movies, definitely
Yeah.
spies, mission, impossible
Okay. Yeah.
missions,
Yeah. Yeah.
things like that. So you have to like tension. So I like everything happening, but I also like a very strong love story. And my characters always go through something very how to say, profound
Okay.
during their journeys.
Okay.
So everybody who likes that is, yes.
Okay, so you said music has an impact on you as an author. What about your
Yes.
acting background? You're talking about seeing visually. Acting is all
Yeah.
visual, really, right? So
Yes.
does acting
Yes.
also have an influence on you as a writer?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like everything, my whole life is because I really like Cillian Murphy is one of my favorite actors, because how he, and also how he talks about the acting is also what really resonates with me. He says like acting is about life and writing is about life as well. So they're very, very similar, actually. And this is also what sometimes I just had this argument with one of the relatives. Like they said, like, why did you have to start your book with the word fuck?
Yeah.
And I was like, and he was grilling me, like literally grilling me at this. And I was like, my answer is to you is that I write life
Right.
as the real life is.
Yeah.
I'm not like, my characters are real life beings.
Yeah.
And they're like in my head, and they are like they are. They're not like, oh, they're not thinking that, oh, I might be, wounding your hearing or sight. So if it wounds you, please close the book
Right.
and go on with your life.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the same with like the acting and the writing are the same in that way for me. They're both very lifelike. People don't want to see you act. People want to see you live through your character.
Right.
And the same is with writing. You have to live through your character. And this is exactly what I am also looking in the book when I'm reading. And this is most of the books that I do not finish are those books where I can't live through the character.
That's a good point.
They're not real enough.
That's a really good point. Okay, so for your books, I'm noticing in the titling of your book, a common thread so far being broken rules. Is that kind of going to carry you through all the different books that you're working on? That broken rules is the first two words of your title of your books?
Yes. So the first few are broken rules because the rules, like the first one is broken rules of the hunt. So basically one person is hunted and every single rule in her head is going to be broken about like how is people are following her and like how is this she is very the protagonist is very like how to say very loyal person, and she would never follow her colleagues like in this way, maybe or no, maybe not. she's very gray. She's in a gray area.
Yeah.
But still it's like some of the rules gets a lot of rules get broken in the first book, and the second book is broken rules of a fight because it's a underground fighting ring that is in the main how to say area. So yeah, these are because a lot of rules get broken, the rules of modern society.
Okay. Broken rules of the fight. Is that tied to your kickboxing background then?
So it's actually the other way around.
Oh.
So I started to write this fight novel, and then I was like, so, oh my God, MC, you have never been to a, you have never done this before. Like, how can you even? You're an imposter. How can you even? So you go now and take your like go and take those classes, like fighting classes, and then
Wow.
you actually learn about this. So first of all, I got into Krav Maga, which is
Yeah.
the Israeli killing whatever art. Then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be so badass. This is where I'm gonna go. It was like this, how to say, office men's brawling training, or this kind of, they were like this giant toddlers there, and they're just like, fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was the only woman, and I was like, the average guy there was like 6 feet tall, and I'm 5'5". I'm a little. I was like a little toddler there. I was like, what are you doing? And then we did the warm up, and then the trainer said, now we're gonna take out knives. I'm like, what is this? I felt that I was like, there's this game Fortnite. I
Oh
think
yeah.
most people know
Yeah.
about it. So I felt like someone had just, went and just dropped me on the Fortnite map with this rubber knife in my hand, and now I had to just, had to stab the other guy, and I was like,
Yeah.
like, this is not for me. I was like, I was a trooper. I went through with it all. I ended up being bruised and broken for 2 weeks because I was paired up with a guy. I think he was definitely a violent guy. And he was like, he pushed me up with his
Yeah.
forearm on the freaking wall and, stabbing me. And, I was like, I don't know if I should be afraid for my life or laugh, or what
Yeah.
is going on
Yeah.
here? I don't understand anything. So I went home. I licked my wounds. I came out of the train. I was hysterical. I laughed after that because I was like, you know, I just survived something. And then I didn't give up. I wrote to my kickboxing trainer. Now I'm gonna tell mine because I wrote to him and he was like, yes, yes, come. And year and a half later, I'm still at it.
Okay. So
So I
yeah,
He's
that's
an actual fighter.
really
Yes, he's an actual fighter and he fights in fights. So he's like K2 fighter or something like that. And he has many fights. So I'm like, every time before a fight, I'm like, always, grilling his mind, like, oh, so so what do
yeah.
fighters do? Like how it is and things like that. And he also knows that I'm a writer, and he's like, we have a very good rapport between us. So he's very willing to also answer all my questions. So everything behind it is at least 90% real. Of course, there's like 10% of my own things in it, but with the research, I actually go usually very, very far.
Well, okay, as a reader, when you get Broken Rules of the Fight as it comes available for you in the future, just know that MC not only wrote the book, she lived the book, right? And she experienced what is happening in the story. That's above and beyond
Yes.
MC. That's another level for an author to go that far. I don't know if I would have
Yeah.
the courage that you have. I'm applauding you. I think that's amazing.
And amazingly, I've been riding horses for 25 years, and I've written nothing about horses ever.
Well, maybe someday that might come in the future. You never know, right?
One day, yeah.
Right. So beyond what we talked about for the readers, then is there what kind of characters are we going to see through your writing? Can you kind of give us an idea of some of the people we're going to meet in your world as an author? Because I'm interested, are the characters carrying through on the different books, or you have new characters each book? What can the readers
Yeah.
expect?
So I myself don't have time for series
Okay.
because I just don't have time to read series. So these books are
Okay.
standalones. Broken Rules is definitely, every single book is a standalone, but it's recommended just to start with the first Broken Rules of the Hunt,
Okay.
because a lot of themes are just gonna go through other books as well, but you can read in any order. So this was what I was thinking about. But what I also like, that there are new characters, and oh, they are so cute. The women are very strong. They're very strong, but they're also very, very different. So I would say, like, there's a lot of me inside of them as well. So the first character, Wildcat, she's she's me in a corporate setting. Sans the violence.
Okay.
But you can imagine, like if you work in a corporate setting, you like Ally McBeal. You remember like how she like always thought about violence through that little baby or something. This was a creepy thing. But anyway, it would never fly today if you would do it in a TV. But back in the day, it was super nice.
Fine, yeah.
So basically, what it was, the Wildcat is like this overworked workaholic. She has several jobs. She only lives for her job, and she only does that. And she identifies herself through her work.
Okay.
There's like nothing else. No men, no nothing. He's like this hardcore, like this underground mercenary,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
missionary,
different.
mercenary.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah.
So he and then comes Fox, who is a total hedonist, and he's like this. I love my job. I'm good at my job as I don't know as a hitman, but then they meet, and so Fox shows Wildcat that there is more to life than just work, and he changes her in that way. So it's like in my life as well, somebody had to. It's very real because somebody had to really show me that there is like the work. It's just it's just work. You can love it, but the things in life that are important are different. They're not like this is like this day that you can be alive, you can be happy, or you can be whatever. You don't have to be happy. You can be just yourself and you don't hurt. You just can live your life from morning to night.
Yeah.
This is all that matters.
Okay.
You can see the sun, you can see the rain, you can see the whatever, and this is the most important. So this is what Fox does to Wildcat. So he shows her through small things that there's more to life, and this is the beauty of it that I really love.
Okay.
That she really changes in the end.
Okay. And then your character for Broken Rules of the Fight. Who do we get to meet here in this book?
Oh, these are Serpent and Fox. Fox. And Phoenix.
Phoenix. Okay.
Serpent and Phoenix. Yeah, Serpent and Phoenix. Yeah. So Serpent is like this. He's also like he's an UFC fighter, but he's also an underground fighter, and he is a hacker for the underground society, but he hasn't done this for a long time. Like he really likes to concentrate on the fighting career. But what happens is that his sister will his sister will be abducted by Russian mafia, and so he starts to look for a chance. Like how can he infiltrate the Bratva? So and then he stumbles upon Phoenix. Phoenix is a relatively new undercrowder. She's good at what she does. She's a good spy. She's good at what she does, but she's like everything happens to her. Like literally everything happens to her. Like everything breaks or her missions go awry, and then she doesn't have any money because her sister was also taken by the Russian Bratva. So Serpent and Phoenix will bond over the fact that they share an enemy.
Okay.
So this is the kind of thing, and they start to both search for their sisters, and this unites them. So Phoenix is like, yeah, she's a very bubbly person as well. Like because when she was younger, she was abused by her father very heavily, and when she got out of the abuse, she promised that no man will ever tell her what to do. And Serpent here is a very dominant male who really wants to tell her what to do. So there is going to be like this kind of very interesting dynamics between them two. A lot of banter and a lot of clashing between them because they're also very, very different people. They just share an enemy and they bond over it, and eventually, I guess, fall in love.
There you go. So, for a reader, a quick read, something they can pick up and read, and they'll be able to enjoy this and jump right into the story, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, that's good for people that are planning out their next read. They're like, hey, this is exciting. When is Broken Rules of the Fight scheduled to come out?
So it's scheduled at the moment in October, but it was 7th of October, but now because of different reasons, I'm not sure it's gonna come out on 7th of October because it needs. I just went a little bit. I went on town with it, so. I accidentally, not accidentally, but half accidentally, and so I edited it before my editor got it, and it gained 10,000 words. So it's got.
Wow.
I was just dabbling. I was not just like, so let's have some fun with it, and I was like, oops. Yeah. It used to be 91,000 words, and now it's 104,000 words. So it's actually 13,000 words. So just a random. So it might be because of that reason that it might take a little bit longer to edit for my amazing editor from the US. So she's a brilliant one. She usually edits bestsellers, so she has like this brilliant eye to everything. And her cues I think are a year. Yeah. Yes, a year.
Wow.
So but now she's working on my book. I just sent it to her, and now we're starting to work. So. If all goes to plan, 7th of October. Okay. If not, a little bit later, but still in autumn.
Okay. For the readers, though, the best place to find out more about the book and the launch and all that, stay on top of what's happening for you and connecting with you as a reader. Where do you want to send them? We'll have a link in the show notes. But where's your website, and where can we send a reader to you?
So it's just M.C.Paas Writes. .com. And I do also have Instagram, M.C.Paas Writes, and I do have a TikTok account, M.C.Paas. So M.C.Paas, P-A-A-S. So this is, you can find it more. I don't have a Facebook page yet, but I do have Instagram and TikTok and a homepage where you can sign up for a newsletter as well. And I promise I'm not sending you anything else but the release information.
That's good. And we'll also include the playlist as well for the music as well. We'll have a link for that in the show notes. Yes. I think that would be really cool for the audience to hear the music that inspired you while they're reading your book at the same time. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. I have for both. I think even for Broken Rules of the Fight, I constantly add songs because I really love it. Yeah. So but I do have it. I have them up on Spotify, so I think everybody can access it.
Yeah, so we'll make sure we include that, everyone, as you're listening. You can go listen to the Spotify playlist as well. MC, it's so great to have you on the show. Congratulations on taking your young one to see AC/DC. What a great mom-kid moment to have that together. I love that you did that.
Oh, yes.
Right? And then again, to have time with you in Estonia while I'm in Canada. I love podcasting for this, that I get to meet you and have time with you. I think this is really, really great. So thank you so much for making time for us. Any last words for the reader, MC, as we go? Any last things you want to say to the readers listening?
Any last things? One of the things that I want to say to all the readers of the books is that you are the most special people on earth that read the books or listen to the books or however you consume them, because this is what readers are. Readers are the magic that that make the books come alive. So this is, thank you. Thank you for being who you are.
There you go. And thank you for listening to this podcast about MC and her amazing books and getting to know her a little bit more. I think you're going to enjoy the books even more now that you've heard a little bit behind the scenes. MC, again, thank you so much for doing this. Come back in the future.
Thank you.
Projects. We always love to have somebody who loves music and does what you do to come back and have a conversation in the future. I'd love to have you back. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yes. Thank you, Dave.
Excellent.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, thank you so much again for pressing play. As you've heard, great guests on the show. And one thing you didn't hear in this conversation is what? What did you not hear? Think about it for a second. That's right. Not a single solitary commercial for a mattress or a supplement or a whatever you call it. No. Why? Because we don't want to break up the conversation with commercials. So the fact that you're still here means that you are a fan of the show, I'm assuming. So if you want to help to keep the podcast going and to make me feel really happy, all I really care about is coffee, okay? I just got to be honest. I love coffee. I'm drinking one right now. It's starting to get cold. I need to warm it up. Helping us with our Buy Me a Coffee link over at livingthenextchapter.com and also in the show notes helps kind of keep the lights on around here. Remember, I'm doing this for free. I'm paying for everything. So I would love to have a little coffee donation, even $5 kind of fills up my cup. And I would love to enjoy a coffee from you. So if you're interested, again, thank you for listening. But you can use our Buy Me a Coffee link and fill up the cup. Thanks for being here.